Now we move on with our paired exercises. As you know, Aikido requires at least two persons to practice. This way, one person can be the attacker and the other can be the defender. Then you can switch roles and continue. Don't forget that in Aikido, we practice all techniques on both sides, left and right. The first technique today is quite stationary and requires no falling, but it is very effective. So, please move very slowly and softly. There are a few things you must never forget during our training. Our bodies should never be stiff. You must never use brute force and must never harm your partner. To ensure this, both partners need to be soft and show no resistance to the techniques. If you pay attention to these, you can learn the techniques quickly and correctly. An attacker might try to harm us in a variety of ways. He or she might hit our head with a bat, punch our face, punch our abdomen, attack from behind, hold our neck with one hand and punch with the other, etc. If we consider Aikido as a defense art, we then would need to categorize the attack so that we could practice the scenarios such as an attack coming from above, an attack coming from front, an attack that aims at the neck to suffocate, etc. You will also learn the Japanese names of the techniques during our classes. You might be a little confused at first, but don't worry. In time, you will get used to it and learn all of the words. This first technique is called Koosa, Katate, Dori, Nikkyo, Ura. In this technique, basically the opponent grabs your wrists using only one hand. So, the attack goes like this. Grabbing your right wrist with their right hand. A simple hold. Now, through a very flexible body movement, put some distance between the attacker's body and his or her arm, breaking their hold a little bit. Meanwhile, put your free hand on your attacker's hand so that the attacker cannot release his or her grip. In order to support your muscular strength with your body weight, you must keep your hands in front of yourself at all times. This is very important. We will discuss this often in the future. Right after, raise your coat arm in a circular move above your attacker, finishing at your starting position with your body and arms. And now, your hands are above the hands of your attacker and you inflict a serious pain. This pain is virtually invisible from the outside, but nonetheless, it is very agonizing. Push your hands towards your attacker's abdomen while wrapping your hand around his or her wrist like a snake or an ivy. Press your opponent against the ground. Please try this out very slowly, as you may really hurt or even injure your partner. Now, I will repeat this technique on both sides. Please watch carefully. You have seen the technique. Now, let's train for 3 minutes. Please mutually repeat this technique from both sides without rushing. We will be together after 3 minutes. Please watch me carefully. I hope you haven't hurt each other during the practice. Don't forget that it is very important for both partners to be extremely soft and flexible during the practice in order to avoid injuries. If you couldn't do it, you might have done one of the mistakes I will show now.
Büyük bir olasılıkla şimdi göstereceğim yanlışlardan birisini yapmış olmalısınız.
First, you might have not supported yourself with your body while raising your hands, like this. But remember what I said? Pivot your body backwards, then forwards to its original place. If you try raising your arms with muscular power only, the opponent might overpower you and stop you. So, to break the opponent's power, pivot your arm and abdomen backwards and pivot back to your original position and then apply the rest of the technique. The second mistake is connected to our first mistake. You might have raised your hand directly instead of raising it in a circular way, which is wrong. Another mistake is that you might have allowed your opponent's arm to turn, which then would result in you not being able to put enough pressure on the wrist, making the technique ineffective. As we execute the technique, when your hand reaches the mid-level of your body, you have to try to curve your hand around your opponent's wrist like a snake or an ivy. Now, I give you 3 more minutes. In light of these common mistakes, please mutually work on this technique. Please sit. As you can see, the technique is quite simple and effective. You must pay a lot of attention to the practice. Now we continue with a new technique.